Hello everyone and welcome back to Sudden Wealth. I hope you guys are doing very well. If you do enjoy the content, please consider dropping that like and subscribe. As you guys know, it's the only thing that I ask. So as you guys know, I was on a bachelor party over the weekend. I was to record yesterday, but I was really tired. The age is catching up. That's a fact. Still remember when I could go like 5 days in a row, getting super drunk every single night, waking up, going to the gym in the morning. Those were the time. I remember there was one time. There's one time. There's many times that I used that I used to go out, drink everything you can imagine in the bar, and the next day play 5 hours of tennis with 40 degrees Celsius on concrete. No problem. Nowadays, well, the story is different, but it is what it is. But so thank you for for being here today. Let's go straight to the meat. Bonds have gone up quite a lot today. Yields came down. That part is good. That is easing of financial conditions, and the dollar also sold off, which is also good for the market. Now, I would like to see the dollar starting to move a little bit closer to the 95, 94 levels, but also you don't want it to go too quick. I do expect the dollar to eventually go to around the high 80s, probably by Q2 2026, and that should potentially mark the bottom or the top of the bull market, and then we should have a more meaningful correction. That's my feeling. We'll see what's going to happen. It's a bit of moving targets. The point being, are we in extreme greed? Not yet. Is retail euphoria here? Not yet. Once again, what is happening is asset prices are going up. Why? Because a couple of months ago, financial conditions eased a lot and liquidity rose like crazy. So liquidity, global liquidity and US liquidity both hit new all-time highs. So risk assets follow it. That's it. I mean, it's really that's it. Can you have a sell-off because now Powell is being threatened with the DOJ? Sure. Can you have short-term noise because Powell can be potentially fired or forced to resign? Can you have noise with tariffs? Can you have... Yes, it's all noise. At the end of the day, it's all short-term noise. And Tommy Lee was right. Like, a lot of people were giving a lot of flinch, but he was saying, because I remember this, and it's also important, that because when people say things that are accurate, they don't get the credit sometimes they deserve. He was saying that this huge sell-off was a massive buying opportunity, and even said, these stocks, the Mag 7, are extremely oversold, and crypto is extremely oversold. Those will be the ones that do the best. And guess what? That's exactly what happened. So it's important to give him some props. I also in this kind of stuff. I know it's also always funny to make fun of people, but I mean, I will not make fun of people, but I will raise awareness on something about our friend Crypto Banter very soon. But and you can tell my tone of my voice changing, but also, I mean, Tom Lee was right. Then Paul Atkins from the SEC just said that Ethereum is not a security. Well, duh. Also, now I'm going to tell you a little secret. Gary Gensler also thought Ethereum was not a security. How do I know that? Because he said it in his lectures. Yes. He used to go to university and give some lectures, and he said Bitcoin and Ethereum didn't look like securities at all to him. But all of a sudden he goes to the SEC and is completely confused, and he doesn't know because he wants to play ball with the Democrats. And this is the problem, when you become politicized. These organs of government are supposed to be neutral, but they aren't. Same problem with the Federal Reserve. There's absolutely no reason to keep rates where they are, due to in line with the data that we have today. Once again, inflation, this massive spike of inflation, is at 2% in the trueflation. In trueflation. Wow. What a crazy amount. Unheard of. I've been saying all along, can tariffs be inflationary? Depends on a lot of things. Are they moving by themselves? Can tariffs be inflationary? Yes. but they also can be not much impactful. If the currencies are moving in a certain direction, if yields are moving in a certain direction, if deregulation has been put in place, if taxes are being alleviated, if commodity prices are falling, if etc., 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 there's a lot of moving parts. The economy is not like, okay, I take the knight off the board and now you cannot hop. No, this is not like a piece of chess. No, this is not a chess piece. We're not playing chess here. This is a lot of moving, a lot of moving areas here, right? Like, for example, is it a big problem if I remove a knight from the board? If you're playing chess, well, it depends. It can be irrelevant. How can it be irrelevant? Well, if somebody comes and drops the full chessboard on the floor, now nobody cares that you lost a knight. See the point? Like, these things are not working in isolation. It's not if you move here, that needs to move there. If you do this, you have to do that. This is not how it works. Now, stocks, the S&P just reached, I think, a daily close all-time high. Nasdaq the same, blah, blah, blah. Russell typically Russell really is the one that needs the rates to come down. Why? Because it's filled with zombie companies that can only survive if their ability to raise debt is so cheap that they can actually, basically make a little bit of money. So now that the index can go up, but without it, it's difficult. Bitcoin's around 116,000. I've told you this before. There's a possibility we go to 112,000 and a half, around 112 and a half, around that level. It's a possibility that we go there, we retest it, and we go back up. That would be retesting the old all-time highs and just moving up. Would be perfectly natural. Ethereum has been ripping higher and higher. Now everybody likes it. Surprise, surprise. Are you surprised? I'm not. I've been telling you all along. And why are they so happy about Ethereum now? Oh, because Ethereum is going to be key for stablecoins. Oh, because Wall Street is picking Ethereum. Oh, because BlackRock is buying Ethereum. Oh, because Trump is buying Ethereum. All of these things were already in place when Ethereum was 1,400. What changed? The price. This is my point. The fundamentals have already happened. The thing is, the key for success is you find the fundamentals. And the fundamentals, they precede price. So first fundamentals, second price, third narrative. This is how it goes. The key is, how can I find something with strong fundamentals and the price being depressed? That's how you make it. Not buying after the price action already took place. That is much riskier. And I'll tell you why. If you buy something that did a 6x and it goes up another 5x, you just turned $1,000 into $5,000. But someone has turned $1,000 to $30,000. Now, would it be nice to have $5,000? Sure. What about $30,000? It's a massive difference. What about when you buy something that have gone up already 25x and you make a 4x? That means that you turn $1,000 into $4,000, but somebody has turned 1,000 into 100,000. 4,000 is nice, 100,000 is incomparably better. That's my point. Strong fundamentals, price being depressed, buy and feeling crap about it. Why? Because since the price is in the red, it's not producing dopamine in your brain to make you happy. So you get mad, you get sad. It's not funny. It's terrible. But that's how you succeed, and that's why so few people succeed. There's going to be a point, I think. So now I'm going to guess the narratives. So fundamentals of Bitcoin and Ethereum were very, very clear many months ago, but the price was going down, so nobody gave a shit. Now the price has moved up, so now people are starting to care more. And after they care enough, and after the price has moved enough, they need to start thinking, what's going to be the narrative to push this baby another 5x higher? How will I convince people to buy Bitcoin at 200K? If they are convinced it's going to 1 million. How do I convince them it's going to 1 million this cycle? Oh, I know. If it goes to 1 million, it will overtake gold. I know that is a bit more than 1 million, but if we go somewhere to 1 million, then Bitcoin matches gold market cap, and that makes perfect sense, because if gold is 21 trillion, then Bitcoin needs to be a 21 trillion because it's digital gold. It just makes a lot of sense. So if Bitcoin's at 200K, oh, it's going to 1 million. You see? But how do you get that narrative? You get that narrative. I'm speculating that that's going. By the way, just to be clear, there's no narrative like this. I'm speculating that when the price of Bitcoin goes up enough, this is going to be the narrative to convince people to keep holding and buying. And the narrative, I think, will be, oh, no, Bitcoin at 200K is still cheap because it's going to go to 1 million to overtake gold. And what's going to be the narrative of Ethereum? I think, oh, Ethereum is much more useful because all the banks are going to use him, Wall Street's going to use him, fintech's going to use him, developers. It has 60 or 65% of all the stable coins. This thing is like buying Microsoft at $5. And here's the narrative. It will flip Bitcoin. That's my feeling. Is if you think, or, so something like this, either it's going to be Bitcoin, Ethereum's going to flip Bitcoin, or Ethereum is going to go to 20,000, or it's going to go to, Ethereum's going to go to 70,000, because Bitcoin also went to 70,000 the previous cycle. That's going to be the narrative to buy it at 15K. Or we are moving to flip Bitcoin. Pick one of them. That's my feeling. Do I have special information about it? No, that's my feeling. But when will those type of narratives appear? Maybe it's a third narrative different than the one that I said. Okay, it's perfectly possible. But when will they come up? They will come up when price goes up enough. But why is price going up enough? Because the fundamentals that took place and are taking place still today. Oh, Ethereum's going to go up because of the Genius the Care Act, etc. We all knew it was going to get passed. Oh, it's going to go up because Ethereum has ETFs and other coins don't have ETFs. We all knew Ethereum has ETFs. We all knew BlackRock was buying Ethereum. We all knew that BlackRock was not filing for Solana, it was filing for Ethereum. We all knew that Ethereum was being chosen because it's the safest, it's been the most battle tested of them all. All of these things were fundamentals months ago. What was the problem? Everybody was dunking on Ethereum because price was going down. That's it. There's no big conspiracy theory. There's no people underneath the mountain meeting to screw you over. It's just that simple. And the reason why I'm reinforcing this point so much is because I told you when the prices were low, I told you the fundamentals were looking better than ever. And the price is a matter of time, 1 month, 2 months, 3 weeks, who knows, somewhere around those lines. Before it's going to be a couple of weeks or months that I have a very good probability that those things will lead into a price reaction. At the same time, other people were saying that the bear market was here and that Bitcoin's going to go to 30K and that we had a 50% chance that we are entering into a Trump tariff bear market. Right? You remember all of those people? It's important because we are entering a very important stage of the bull market, and who you listen or who you learn from can be a disaster or a winning strategy. Up to you. At the end of the day, if your idea is to come on YouTube and say, I'm just going to blindly copy whatever YouTuber, including me, is saying, then you're an idiot. And you deserve everything that's going to get you. Maybe you're lucky and you'll do well. But if you have zero ability to think and to test people on their track records and so on, you're going to do really, really bad. And here comes my point. At $1,700, Ren Nuna from Crypto Banter was saying, Ethereum is a dead chain, Ethereum is finished, there's no point in holding ETH, I'm selling the remaining of my Ethereum at $1,700. Then Ethereum, and then when he said that, I made a video that day, and I said that and I basically informed you what he had said. And I made a prediction. That clown will be buying Ethereum close to $4,000, double the price. That's what I said. It's even worse because it's even more than double when he was talking about it. Guess what? Today in this channel, he spent the entire time again talking about Ethereum, pumping Ethereum, and saying he was buying Ethereum. What a surprise. Are you surprised? I told you on that day. Number two, he made a video like 3 weeks ago saying that there's not gonna be any altcoin season because this time the altcoin season will happen in crypto stocks, things like Coinbase, MicroStrategy, things like this. But no altcoin season for anyone. This cycle we get no altcoin season. Today he says, this is why we're entering altcoin season, and this is what you have to do for altcoin season, and this is how we're going to win in altcoin season. The same guy who 3 weeks ago declared no altcoin season. This guy has millions of followers. And there's going to be a point, if he's not doing it already, because I haven't checked it, that he's going to start deleting these streams. The ones that he said before, the Ethereum being finished, the no altcoin season stuff, they're going to vanish with a very strong likelihood that it's going to vanish. And the reason why I raise you, because the day that he made that video, I came here and I made a video and I said, I'm very confident now that we're going to have an altcoin season and it feels sooner rather than later. And I wouldn't be surprised if those altcoins would start outperforming quite a lot the crypto stocks. But I said, I think it's very, very likely that altcoin season is almost here because this guy just declared that this cycle is different and there's no altcoin season period. And now he's making a video to teach you on how to benefit from the altcoin season that he didn't see coming 3 weeks ago. But do you think that he admits that he didn't see coming? Do you think he admits that he said Ethereum was dead at $1,700? No. He just talks about it because they are hot topics now, and he gets more followers, more YouTube ad revenue, and some of those invites for private allocations like the Pump Fund token. Pump Fund token to him was not a great idea, but then he apparently got invited to a private allocation. All of a sudden, Pump Fund token is incredibly good for crypto. Terra Luna, I was a big fan of it as well. It's one after the other. But there are more like him. I'm just talking about him because he has millions of followers. But this is the point. Be very careful to whom you listen to, because this will multiply quite a bit now. Never forget, you are their source of passive income. You are their, the get out of jail free card. If all their investments go to zero, they can count on that income coming in from you watching, from selling you stuff, etc., etc., etc. So I think the fun is starting, and I've said this before, I'll say it again because no YouTuber is going to say, expect drastic short-term corrections. In the biggest stages of the bull market, you have very aggressive pullbacks and very short term, particularly in altcoins. So things that can go, you wake up and all of a sudden that crypto is down 25%, but also it went up 3x, so it's down 25%. Then that 25%, is an insta bear market in other asset classes, and sometimes it's not easy to tolerate it. But what I'm telling you is, if you look at any chart of this phase of the cycle, you go on the daily chart and you see these huge wicks and spikes like this, it's because it's very hard. I've told you, the bull market is much harder than the bear market. Bear market is easy. Bear market is you count to 8 monthly candles, so you need 8 monthly red candles, and you count 12 months. And you look for a massive, terrible event that's going to be the final sell-off. Once you have that, if you accumulate Bitcoin or Ethereum or BNB or one of the big ones anywhere in the vicinity of that timeline, you do very, very well. So bear markets are much easier. Just get out of the way. And things can always go lower than what you expect. But bull markets are very hard because it will force people to guess. The top is in, the top is not in, the top is in, the top is not in. It's going to be very hard to guess. But with that, guys, thank you very much for your support. Sorry for a bit of a longer video, but I really wanted to flag this. Don't forget, like and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.